IGP summons task force tactical squad commanders over killings, kidnappings as Wike berates council chairman over insecurity in capital. Tinubu lauds Buhari for non-interference since leaving office. Supreme Court reserves judgment in Nasarawa appeal. On the foreign scene, Kenya to charge cult leader with murder, terrorism. Hello and welcome to Trust News Hour. I'm Aisha Salihu. The Federal Capital Territory Minister Nyesom Wike has berated FCT Area Council chairmen for leaving their responsibilities when they are needed at most. The minister, who was addressing stakeholders at an emergency security meeting in his office, wondered why the council chairmen would be traveling out of the country even when their areas are facing challenges. Wike described the situation where council chairmen travel anytime and then blame the FCT minister when things go wrong. He recalled the recent strike by the Nigeria Union of Teachers, noting that even when primary schools are under area councils, chairmen were not doing enough to address issues that led to the strike. He charged them to live up to their responsibilities in order to ensure the FCT is effectively administered.
But all of us are concerned as the Federal Capital Territory that has virtually every Nigerian. We owe a duty to make sure that this place is safe. We'll do all we can. And we're sure Nigerians who reside here that there's no need for panic. We're taking every step to make sure that those challenges are things that we must have to resolve. So this meeting is practically to look into such challenges and see how we'll be able to resolve the problems. And that's why we invited all the council chairmen, because they also have a responsibility in their various area councils.
Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Adeolu Egbetokun, has summoned a crucial meeting with the force management team and tactical squads to address the escalating concerns regarding insecurity across the country. According to a statement by Force Public Relations Officer ACP Muyiwa Adejobi, the IGP, while expressing deep concern over the events, emphasized the need for decisive action. Adejobi noted that at the meeting, which centered on a comprehensive review of current security challenges, strategic planning, and the deployment of tactical resources to tackle emerging threats, the IGP emphasized the need for a coordinated and intelligence-driven approach to address the evolving security landscape. Tactical squads were briefed and directed to intensify efforts on the deployment of proactive measures to prevent criminal activities and protect citizens. While reassuring Nigerians, especially residents of the Federal Capital Territory, of improved security, the IGP ordered the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Department of Operations, to personally coordinate the upscale security strategies emplaced to decimate kidnappers and other criminally minded individuals in the FCT and immediately restore normalcy. Among security matters, a 43-year-old Fulani herder, Abubakar Saeed, has reportedly been killed in another string of attacks in the community of Bokos local government area of Plateau State. The deceased, according to the leadership of the Fulani communities, was attacked in the Kop Mandakan community in Bokos district of Bokos local government area while on his way to the house in the area. The latest killing of Saeed occurred 5 days after a 17-year-old Abdul Hamid Ahmed was stabbed to death by yet-to-be-identified hoodlums in Mbara community of Boko's local government area while grazing. The spokesperson of Operation Safe Haven, Captain Oya James, is yet to comment on the incident. Communities of Tumburko village in Kidandan ward of Giwa local government area, Kaduna State, have staged a peaceful protest against incessant banditry and security challenges bedeviling the area. The protesters, numbering thousands, consisted of both the young and elderly, and staged the protest at the Zozo Emirate Palace in Zaria. Malam Yusuf Jibrin, in an emotional-laden voice, who subsequently bursted into tears while presenting the complaints before the Emir, said the community is highly worried over the activities of bandits and other criminal elements in the area. He said banditry activities have grounded agriculture and other economic activities in the area and further jeopardized peace and security of the entire community. Still on security matters, armed bandits launched a devastating attack on Magizawa village in Zamfara state, kidnapping around 50 villagers, including 36 women, while tragically claiming 3 lives, including a vigilante group member. The assailants, arriving at night, created chaos by firing shots and conducting house-to-house searches for victims. Residents suspect possible informants aiding the bandits, leading to the surprise attack, catching the vigilante group off guard. Authorities, including the sole administrator of Kaura Namoda and the police public relations officer, are yet to provide details or comments on the incident, redirecting inquiries to the Operation Hadarin Daji. The affected families have not received any ransom demands yet. We move over now to Nasarawa State, where a bloody clash over land matters between Gbagi and Basa ethnic groups in Kudu village of Toto, the headquarters of Toto local government area of Nasarawa State, have claimed no fewer than 7 lives. Reports said the crisis erupted when Basa ethnic group stormed a community where Gbagi people have settled in order to carry out farming activities. An eyewitness who was at the scene of the incident said many persons sustained various degrees of injuries, while houses and farm produce worth millions of naira were destroyed during the clash. Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State said government has waded into the unfolding security breaches in total local government area of the state. And away from all of the security matters, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has lauded former President Muhammadu Buhari as a seasoned Democrat, citing his exemplary lifestyle worthy these remarks during the unveiling of 2 literary works chronicling the inception and conclusion of his predecessor's administration from 2015 to Ibrahim covered the event and now reports.
Except when I call him to say, are you living? Are you being in the farm? You don't hear from him either to nominate or intrude in the cabinet. Being here face to face with you is being here with a great documentation of history, candor, integrity, and character.
President Tinubu, while describing his predecessor as an astute statesman, added he has emulated some of his leadership traits. Tinubu said that while the job of being president is a difficult one, he asked for it.
I've emulated you. One of those is non-interference, being a Democrat, responsibility for nation building, staying on course. I am determined to do just that because I campaigned for this job. And you told me in our discussions, it's not easy. But I went out there dancing for it, making promises, doing kokoma, doing all kalangos, making music, so I cannot complain.
In his remark, former President Muhammadu Buhari mentioned that while his administration were as transparent as possible, posterity remains the ultimate judge. The former president also pledged his support to the current administration.
We were as transparent and accountable as possible, being aware of the fact that posterity was the ultimate judge. We kept records of our stewardship, knowing that we would always be required to account for the trust entrusted to us. This event today is part of the accounting for our 2 terms in office, and I thank those who have labored day and night to ensure that this history is recorded for now and the future. The President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration has my support and confidence in the quest for us to have a country of our dreams where there is emancipation for our teeming population.
Our former president or somebody I served, for me, is a conviction. A lot of people wonder, what has the man given you that you are so loyal to him? If he was not a conviction, I would not have come to work for him. I was MD of a thriving newspaper. I was president of the Nigeria Guild of Editors. And when I was asked to come and work for him, I left everything and came.
A key takeaway from the event was the former president's remark that in Nigeria's journey to the desired destination, there will be hard decisions taken and the people will bear some costs. He said the government can only seek the understanding of the people and state that there was no intention to deliberately inflict pain and anguish on anyone. Sagir Ibrahim, Trust TV News, Abuja.
In the State of the Nation report, the Supreme Council for Sharia in Nigeria has expressed concern over the same-faith ticket's failure to meet expectations despite widespread support from millions of Nigerians. The Council deems the current state of the economy unfortunate, attributing it to the arrival of the present administration. The report.
President of the Supreme Council for Sharia in Nigeria, Sheikh Abdul Rashid Hadiatullah, expressed that the reason for supporting the same-faith ticket was to have progress and good governance, a situation that has now been marred by appointees looting the treasury.
Nigerians are not enjoying this new government at all. We help on the successfulness of this Muslim ticket. We helped, we campaigned, we supported this government until it came into being. But the Nigerians are suffering, we are suffering. And we went ahead and gave those who are siphoning, looting the treasure of Nigeria.
He, however, recommended that those who have been identified for their misdeeds be replaced with patriotic individuals.
Some of these ministers should go home and rest, and we'll find another people who will be honest with themselves, with the country, with the job, who are there to work.
Meanwhile, a former governor of Zamfara State, Ahmed Yerima, has described the recent Supreme Court verdict on 8 states, including Zamfara, as one devoid of executive interference.
You can see now that government did not interfere because if the president had wanted, he would have used all the umbrella of power to ensure that his party overrides whatever aspiration other people have.
The council, however, called for the appointment of God-fearing leaders willing to work in the interest of Nigeria and Nigerians. Sagir Ibrahim, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Away from that, as Borno State prepares for its local government elections on Saturday, Maiduguri witnesses a subdued campaign atmosphere. Despite the campaign nod from the Borno State Independent Electoral Commission since last November, candidates vying for offices are yet to actively solicit votes from electorates. Trust TV's Beatrice Kurusi has details of the story.
Today, like any other day, Maiduguri residents engage in their routine activities. The latest political development is the upcoming local government chairmanship elections scheduled for this weekend. But the capital city experiences a lack of fervor in campaign activities leading up to the polls.
Is there any election campaign going on? I'm not even aware. We are not even aware that there's going to be an election. Because if you are going to town, you will see everywhere is quiet, everywhere is silent. You don't even see people communicating. You don't see anything happen as if there will be election. So we don't know what is happening on the ground. Maybe they have finished election or maybe there must be something on the ground. But up now, if you go to town, I've been going to post office, going to Bagar Road, all this side. I've not seen any campaign going on as if there will be election.
Yes, I will vote, but until I see that there is a free and fair election. I don't know a situation whereby I will vote and I will not see the result, and there is no justice. So I don't want anything that injustice. I don't want.
Considering the fact that it's a local government election, it might not be as heavy as maybe House of Reps, Senate, or presidential or governorship, but in their own level, at their own level, yeah, we've been seeing a lot of rallies, because personally, I participated in the one for my local government, Dikwa.
Some residents express hope for free, fair and credible elections. They expect elected politicians to fulfill their promises, with some emphasizing the need for essential amenities like water and hospitals.
Shawaran 'yan siyasa da wanda Allah ya bashi nasara ya tuna bohol asibiti.
I will advise those that win to provide water, hospital, and other important amenities.
Campaign is going on. We were invited last time by State Independent Electoral Commission, BOSIC, and they briefed us on everything. And now the preparation is, in top gear. Election is a game of number. It's a game of number. We were given opportunities. We have candidates. It's now left for the people of the, local governments to decide who they want. If they want our candidate and voted for our candidate, that's good. If they voted for other candidate, it's okay. It's their choice.
The local government elections are scheduled for Saturday, 20th January 2024. Beatrice Kurusi, Trust TV News, Maiduguri.
The Supreme Court has reserved judgment in the appeal filed by David Ombugadu of the People's Democratic Party challenging the election of Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule. On Tuesday, the court, presided over by Justice Kudirat Kekere Ekun, reserved the judgments to a date to be communicated to the parties after counsels to the appellants and respondents adopted their briefs of argument. The Apex Court also reserved judgment in the appeal filed by Major General Aminu Bande, the PDP governorship candidate in Kebbi State, challenging the election of Nasir Idris of the APC as the governor of the state. Last year, the Independent National Electoral Commission declared Sule the winner of the March 18 governorship election. Dissatisfied with the election outcome, the PDP candidate approached the governorship election petition tribunal, challenging INEC's declaration of Sule as the winner of the poll. About 7 months later, Ombugadu got judgment in his favor on October 2 as the tribunal nullified Sule's election and declared him as the winner of the March 18, 2023 governorship election in the state. Sule, who was displeased with the tribunal ruling, appealed the verdict at the Court of Appeal in Abuja and secured the nod of the appellate before Ombugado proceeded to the Supreme Court. The Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, has opted not to honor an invitation extended by the Code of Conduct Bureau amid an ongoing investigation concerning an alleged breach of the Code of Conduct for public officers. At the CCB headquarters in the Federal Secretariat Abuja on Tuesday, it has been observed that the minister, scheduled for interrogation at 11 a.m., did not appear at the Bureau between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. Veronica Kato, the spokesperson for the CCB, confirmed the development in a telephone interview on Tuesday. She stated that the minister's interrogation would be rescheduled for a later date, citing a memo from the minister pointing to a national assignment. The Ogun State Police Command has detained an inspector over alleged misconduct in Ijebu-Ode local government area of the state. Announcing the detention in a statement on Tuesday, the State Police Public Relations Officer Omolola Odutola said the inspector is being tried for an alleged assault and extortion of a 24-year-old lady at a checkpoint in Ijagun Junction near Tai Solarin University of Education. Odutola said the police authorities swung into action following a viral video that captured the inspector assaulting the victim. The police spokesperson maintained that the police commissioner has also stressed the importance of respecting the fundamental human rights of citizens at different lectures conducted for officers and men of the command. He also warned that the command will sanction any officer that infringes on the rights of the members of the public. This is the News Hour on Trust TV. We'll be right back. Welcome back, and thank you most kindly for staying. If you're just joining us, this is the News Hour on Trust TV, a recap of some of our top stories. You heard that IGP summons task force tactical squad commanders over killings, kidnappings, as Wike berates council chairman over insecurity in capital. Tinubu lauds Buhari for non-interference since leaving office. And now moving to other stories. The Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, has opted not to honor an invitation extended by the Code of Conduct Bureau amid an ongoing investigation concerning an alleged breach of the Code of Conduct for public officers. At the CCB headquarters in the Federal Secretariat Abuja on Tuesday, it has been observed that the minister, scheduled for interrogation at 11 a.m., did not appear at the Bureau between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. Veronica Kato, the spokesperson for the CCB, confirmed the development in a telephone interview on Tuesday. She stated that the minister's interrogation would be rescheduled for a later date, citing a memo from the minister pointing to a national assignment.
Nigeria, a country blessed with abundant human and natural resources, has unfortunately witnessed numerous cases of financial fraud perpetrated by its public servants for decades. The Code of Conduct Bureau (CCB) facts under Nigeria's constitution to maintain high standards in the conduct of government business and to enforce the Code of Conduct for public officers had summoned the Minister of Interior Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo to present himself at its headquarters in Abuja. The minister has asked for a postponement of the invitation, citing his unavailability due to national assignment.
What the Code of Conduct says, that's as stated in the 5th schedule of the Constitution, is that it would be a conflict of interest if you are, while being a public officer, you're also running the affairs of a private organization. Now, the idea of running the affairs will presuppose that you are a director of that organization, maybe the managing director or an executive director. It's on that basis you'll be running the affairs. Now, if you put a narrow interpretation to that, it might be easy for us to say the Minister of Interior isn't running the affairs of that company, right? Because he said that he had resigned from that organization since 2019, it's about 5 years ago. Now, having resigned, he's no longer carrying out a functional running of the organization in the literal sense. If we go into a grammatical sense and look at how other factors could play out in whether he's running or not, we look at the consideration of the fact that he's still a shareholder. He admitted that himself. He brought, I saw him bring the papers to a live television to show that he resigned being a director, which is fine. But he added that he's still a shareholder. Now, as shareholder, you're just basically profiting from anything the company makes in terms of profit, in terms of revenue and all of that, income and all of that. Now, you're not running the affairs in the real sense of it. However, his wife is still a director. He admitted that as well, that when they set up the company, it was himself, his wife, that were directors, and he didn't mention that his wife has resigned as a director. So apparently, I mean, if you go home and you have a conversation with your wife, so how far is this company doing? And then the wife could tell you, yes, we submitted a bid to the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. So it's not that he doesn't know. He may not be directly pressing the button, but he'll be aware that, okay, yes, since he lives close to his wife, perhaps, his wife will tell you, I pressed this button on the remote. So say, okay, yeah, you can still press that other button. So he's not physically running the affairs of the company, but we could draw inference of him doing so.
Although the minister denied being actively involved in the running of his family's company, Ajibola Yusuf says there is a need for CCB to ensure a thorough investigation into the allegation.
Over time, public officers are always taking the provision of the Code of Conduct for levity. The provision says don't have foreign accounts. You find out many public officers do have foreign accounts. I don't know how many public officers has been put to book for having foreign accounts, but there are many of them who do. There are many of them who are involved in, who don't declare assets. They buy properties because they buy in the name of someone and shield it. There's a lot that the CCB can do. It only makes our public officers more accountable, and it makes the populace trust them the more. The more the CCB can function, that's the tribunal and the bureau and the tribunal itself, the more they can function and make public officers accountable, the more the citizens can trust the system.
Following the minister's failure to comply with the directive, civil society actor Yusuf Amos asserts that no minister is immune to answering the CCB's call, especially on matters involving financial fraud.
We have civil servants setting up NGOs, we have public servants setting up companies, as in the case of the Interior Minister, as it is being alleged. You are a minister, you have a company that is benefiting from government funds in questionable circumstances. You are being invited and you are giving excuses. The man should be arrested and be forced to come and answer for the allegations. And if it is proved to be false, then he should be let free to go and continue his work. But if there is any indication of collusion in this matter, then he has no business being a minister of the Federal Republic.
The scandal at the Humanitarian Affairs Ministry has engulfed the immediate past Minister Sadia Umar, has suspended successor Beta Edu and Halima Shehu. Nigerians hope that the Tinubu administration will guarantee the prosecution of any public office holder guilty of impropriety without fear or favor. Abdurrahman Umar, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Some residents of Bayelsa State have called on the state government to implement policies and programs that will have a direct bearing on the people in 2024. Referencing the state governor's New Year broadcast, they suggested ways that would help government achieve its vision of prosperity for the state. Trust TV's Friday Ebimobowe Peter has more.
According to the residents, some of the areas that require government's attention include the state transportation system, power supply infrastructures, as well as primary healthcare services, in the rural communities.
Well, we have many things to do. We have road projects, new road to be tiered and develop it, and education background, and civil servants. Most of our civil servants, they are suffering. Pensioners, when they're retired, by right, the state government is supposed to pay them that very week. But pensioners will retire for many years. They will not see their money. Some of them will not see their money. And some will die and go. And other people that does not know how to get that money will come and benefit.
The ring road, I think I can see other improvements too. All those lights, street lights, they are doing it. So I urge government to do more in the area of light. We really need light for the state. I think the security is tight.
For Nollywood actor George Edugbe, attention should also be given to the provision of potable drinking water to improve the living standard of the state. He said the water residents buy from the local water vendors is not hygienic enough for consumption and can lead to various health conditions.
I want the government to look at critical areas, most especially the area of water that we consume as human. We'll get to realize that most of the sickness that people, trouble people, about 93% of it is from water. You should work on water, biases and suffering from water. And that has necessitated to the extent of Merua, all over the street of Yenagua. And even this habit of Merua, if you look at it carefully, sometimes they even urinate into the jerry can that they are using in supplying water to people. So it's not hygiene. The government should follow up all policies that they have brought into play. They should be able to follow it up so that by so doing, we will feel the dividend of democracy.
They maintain that if these and other areas are given the necessary attention, life will become better for all in the state. From Yenagua, Friday, Ibimobowe Peter. Trust TV News, Yenagua.
Nigeria faces an escalating cost of living crisis, intensifying the strain on everyday consumers. The recent Consumer Price Index report from the National Bureau of Statistics exposes a surge in headline inflation reaching 28.92% in December 2023. Trust TV's Ibrahim Ismail examines the impact of soaring inflation on consumers in Abuja.
In December 2023, food inflation rate increased by 10.18% higher compared to the 23.75% rate recorded in December 2022, pushing the figures up to 33.93 in December 2023 on a year-on-year basis, the NBS pointed. Beyond what the figures are saying, Nigerians are feeling the impact as exorbitant food prices push low-income earners to the brink. 45-year-old Abubakar Ibrahim hawks rope in Karu Market, Abuja. He said food inflation has crippled his purchasing power as he struggles to feed his large family of 2 wives and 12 children. I used to buy a bag of sorghum, but now I can afford only what lasts for 6 or 7 days due to the inflation. Traders here say a 50 kg bag of rice, which sold 45,000 naira in the last 2 weeks, now sells 51,000 naira. This explains why consumers like Maria downsize their daily expenditure.
I do have 3 square meal plan 10, but now it is now 2 square meal, and I do buy 5 mudu of rice. Now it's 3 mudu of rice. That's what I can afford. That's what my salary can afford. Then quarter pack of spaghetti. Normally I buy 1 pack, half pack. Now it's now quarter pack. I would like him to look into minimum wage.
So we won't make everything come down for this government. Do Allah, I beg. I want to make this government look what in this problem on this country they inside. Make them look formal because this formal now called cues both the governments.
While consumers complained of food inflation, business operators, on the other hand, are badly affected by the current trend as low patronage slows down their businesses.
Gaskiya cinakin ya karanta sosai. Don duk wanda ka iya zuwa ya sayi buhu.
The customer turnout has reduced drastically. A consumer who used to buy one bag of rice can afford 30, 20 or 10 measures today because they cut budgets. Since 2016, Nigeria has been recording a slowdown in economic growth. The current situation means the largest economy on the African continent is dealing with a poverty crisis affecting millions of people. Ibrahim Ismail, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now, away from the FCT, students of the Benue State University, Makurdi, have been reacting to the recent guidelines reviewing the dress code for students by the management of the institution. Although many are seeing the move as a bit restrictive, others are calling on their counterparts to respect the rules of the institution for a seamless learning exercise. Jimmy Azande reports.
As part of the reviewed guidelines, ladies' wigs have been restricted to just brown and black, while sizes of earrings have to be moderate. Also, dresses that tend to reveal sensitive body parts have been restricted, while the males are also expected to dress in a manner that is consistent with decency.
Some of them are so aware that they purposely do that and wear what doesn't moderate. But in their essence, it's just that some of them, they are not being taught well, and they don't give them good orientation and background on what to dress and what to wear on. So because of that, they decided to wear anything anyhow without looking the way they dress. Because there's a thing that says that you are dressed the way you dress.
Dress code in a school like this is a welcome idea. In fact, it's a welcome development. And I encourage all students, most especially female students, to key into these laws because they will help us to have decent students on the school environment and also to produce better people, better women, substantial women in our society. So in summary, I would say some students actually accept these rules and follow them, while some stick against it. But in general, it is a welcome development, and I encourage the school authorities never to relent.
According to some students, the conduct of some of their mates in recent past did not represent the values of an institution where character is also a criterion for the issuance of certificate upon graduation.
It's not just the intellectual capacity, but the dressing matters because some people identify you the way you dress. So to me, it's a welcome development. It's very pleasant, recommendable, and in fact, I like it.
To me, I think the school are doing well and they're trying their best, and that is how it's supposed to, to be.
Indecent dressing has become a major feature of most tertiary institutions in Nigeria. At BSU, however, the new order may bring some form of sanity on the campuses going forward. Jimmy Azandi, Trust TV News, Makurdi.
And now to Bauchi State, the Association of Sugarcane Sellers in Bauchi State have assured of its determination to adhere to basic hygiene rules in their operational basis to improve public health. In their communities, they gave the assurance during an on-the-spot visit to sugarcane markets by environmental protection experts in the state. Trust TV's Adamu Imam files in this report.
In an effort to improve public health and promote hygiene, the Bauchi State Environmental Protection Agency issued a 4-point guideline to sugarcane sellers within the metropolis. Although the leadership of the association expressed concern over the matter, it however said the visit is timely. With over 4,000 members across the state, we usually receive 10 trailers of sugarcane every day. With this volume of sugarcane, it is natural to generate waste, so we are assuring them of compliance by our members to the guidelines for environmental sanitation. As an association, we always sue for collaboration among members in terms of keeping the environment clean, because it is for the benefit of all. In the whole Bauchi state, no market attracts the kind of patronage that sugarcane market attracts. Thousands of youths come here to partake in our business. Some even come directly from school. That is why we need the presence of government at this market. We will do more if government consider our business as an important aspect of the day-to-day life, the society. In terms of sanitations, we adhere to whatever our leaders tell us to do. We don't have a problem with that despite our number. The director of the agency emphasized the need for environmental sanitation and hygiene, adding that the guidelines were designed with the view to promote public health and ensure that vendors create more value to the business, not only in the metropolis but across the state.
And we explain to them the modalities, and of course they appreciate that. And at the same time, the water that they are using and the container, for carrying the water, to water the sugarcane and wash it at the same time, we realize that it's not that clean enough. So we engage them to see that at least they have the clean container and clean water for processing and also washing of the sugarcane. These are some of the things that we have discussed with them, and our plan, we want to go beyond that. And you had them, making their request to the government, particularly having a public toilet there, which is paramount, and at the same time, water source in the area, which we promise that we'll take it on, we'll inform the government. It's not our responsibility to provide the water, but it's Pacifica's responsibility to provide the public toilet facility.
He also wants sugarcane vendors to move with basket to enable them properly dispose waste at designated collection centers along major roads across the state. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
We'll go over now to the business world, where we'll join Yusuf Akogu for business news.
Welcome to Business News. I am Yusuf Akogu. Shell, an international oil company, has reached an agreement to sell its Nigeria onshore subsidiary, the Shell Petroleum Development Company of Nigeria Limited, to Renaissance. Renaissance is a consortium of 5 companies made up of ND Western, Aradel Energy, First E&P, Watersmith, and of course, Petrolin. Commenting on the deal, Shell's Integrated Gas and Upstream Director, Zoe Yudnovich, said the agreement marks an important milestone for Shell in Nigeria, aligning with its previously announced intent to exit onshore oil production in Niger Delta and focus on future investment in Nigeria deep waters integrated gas positions. The completion of the transaction is subject to approval by the federal government of Nigeria and other conditions. In spite of the ongoing epileptic power supply across the country, revenue collection by 11 discos rose by 30% in the first 9 months of 2023 to 782.74 billion naira. Latest data from NERC has shown that collection efficiency improved by 3 percentage points, rising to 73.6% recorded in the first 9 months of 2023, when compared to 7.12% collection efficiency recorded in the first 9 months of 2022. Despite the increased collection efficiency in 2023, NERC data, however, indicated revenue shortfall by discos rose to 503.13 billion naira in the month of January to September 2023, compared to revenue shortfall of 268.31 billion recorded over a similar period in 2022. Speaking on revenue collected from consumers, the chairman, Energy Consumers Association of Nigeria, Chijioke James, lamented that while operators and experts are fixated on the amount of money collected or not collected by the discos, they forget that services have remained very poor. Credit to the government fell for the second consecutive month by 45% to 5.16 trillion naira in 2023 from 9.39 trillion naira in October 2023. Data obtained from the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, money and credit statistics for the review period showed that credit to the government had declined by 72.4% in October. Meanwhile, credit to the private sector dropped month-on-month by 6.0% in November 2023. In 2024 financial year outlook for the banking sector, analysts noted that banks will likely retain restrictive credit lending policy this year. Now let's give you highlights of food commodities for today. Now to the forex market. Naira depreciated further against major currencies of the world at the parallel market on Tuesday. Here are today's figures. Now to the stock market. It's another massive outing for the Nigerian Stock Exchange again as early portfolio rebalancing in the year, of course, continue on the exchange. What you saw yesterday was bullish, but today is even more bullish if there's anything like that. Of course, the likes of Jaiz Bank, ICO Insurance, of course, FCMB, all recording huge gain there. 150 million volume of shares, 99 million volume of shares, of course, 67 volume of shares exchange hands between these three investors of this company. That, of course, pushed some of our gainers. We have the like of Dangote Sugar recording a massive 10%. That is one of the major drivers today. Of course, Dangote, control over 30% of the market capitalization. Of course, NASCON also there, and of course, WAPCO also doing greatly today on the market. The performance of this company, of course, perhaps Dangote as well, put the stock market or share index to a 3.93%, a massive gain on a single day. The last time we had this gain was a very, very long time ago. Of course, the 5% gain when the president was inaugurated. Since then, we've not had this kind of gain on a single day. 87,970.37 basis points was recorded. This is the highest in the history of the Nigerian capital market for a single trading day as well. A volume of over a billion volume of trade exchanges among investors, value at 16.046 billion naira in a deal of 14,835 as well. A very good one, you say, for the market. Of course, there are some minor, of course, exchange there. You see some losers when you have some gainers as usual. The likes of Royal X down there 8.16%. Motivice also down 6.59%. And of course, LRX also recording a decline in trade there 4.79% as well. So these are the highlights of the stock trading as it happened on the floor of the Nigerian stock market this Tuesday. Let's look at the market in Africa and of course the rest of the world. And finally, business, crude oil price. Indeed, there is hope that Nigeria's 2024 budget will be successfully implemented as price of Bonny Light rises higher at the global market. At the London market, Brent crude sells for $78 per barrel. For the Opel basket, dealers offer $79 per barrel of the commodity. And that's business. I am Yusuf Akubu.
Away from Nigeria, Kenyan prosecutors on Tuesday said they intend to charge a suspected cult leader and dozens of other suspects with murder and terrorism over the death of more than 400 of his followers after a court warned it may have to free him. Self-proclaimed Pastor Paul Nthenge Mackenzie is alleged to have incited his followers to starve to death to meet Jesus in a case that shocked the world. Mackenzie was arrested in April last year after bodies were discovered in a forest near the Indian Ocean coast. His pre-trial detention has been extended on several occasions as investigations draw out. Upon thorough analysis of the evidence, the Director of Public Prosecutions is satisfied that there is sufficient evidence to prosecute 95 suspects, the DPP's office said. The move comes a week after a court gave authorities 14 days to prosecute the former taxi driver or release him. Now let's join Adeni Ajishafe for sports news.
Anthony Joshua will face ex-mixed martial arts fighter Francis Ngannou in Saudi Arabia on March 8. Former heavyweight world champion Anthony Joshua is hoping to beat on an impressive fifth-round stoppage of Otto Wallin last December to maintain his bounce back to form. Cameroonian-born Ngannou only made his professional boxing debut in October when he knocked down WBC heavyweight champion Tyson Fury before losing a close decision. Both Joshua's victory over Wallin and Ngannou's surprise showing against Fury took place in the Saudi capital Riyadh, with the oil-rich Gulf Kingdom rapidly becoming the go-to destination for promoters seeking big purses for major bouts. Fury will also face Alexander Usyk in Riyadh on February 17, a fight that will deliver the first undisputed heavyweight champion since 1999. Saudi Arabia has lavished billions of dollars on sporting events in these recent years, including the right to host the 2034 World Cup, the LIV Golf Circuit, a Formula One Grand Prix, and Football Club World Cup. But the world's biggest exporter of oil has been accused by its critics of sports washing by using sports to improve international reputation after widespread criticism from its human rights and environmental record. And still on sport, Super Eagles of Nigeria on Tuesday hit the gym as they begin to build up for Thursday's titanic clash against host nation Cote d'Ivoire. The Eagles had 2 gym sessions each, while also plotting against the Elephant of Cote d'Ivoire. Thursday's match will be from 6 p.m. local time at the Alassane Ouattara Stadium in Abidjan. The Ivorians top Group A with 3 points after a 2-0 win over Guinea-Bissau on the opening day of the tournament. Nigeria and Equatorial Guinea are on a point each after Sunday's 1-0 draw, while Guinea-Bissau are bottom of the standings after they lost to the host team. That's Sport News. I'm Adeni Ajishafe.
With that, we've come to the end of the news hour on Trust TV. But remember, you can always follow us across all of our social media platforms to join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentary. I'm Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for your time.